Cool. And we're back. And yeah, so we've finished up a mission. We was talking about like, did we want to do our downtime or do we want to leave that till next time? And we decided we're just gonna do we're gonna leave our downtime for the moment because we wanted to see where Belle is at.
Yeah. I mean, I think first there's the question of like Thistle, right? Like, and what her leaving. And I suppose, yeah, because like, this is my question. Like, what do y'all think her leaving looks like? Like, is Thistle like quote unquote a member of the crew now, or is she just like?
Is she a ring-in?
Or do we want to make her a contact?
She's got to at least be a contact.
Yeah, I feel contact, but I think that is also partially because Nightfall is a bit still a bit distant, a little bit standoffish, I guess, because of past experience there.
Yeah, your one night stands don't normally then show up and do.
They don't get to be part of the crew. Yeah, it's weird.
Look, you're the one making this weird, not Thistle. But yeah, and so I think, like, I imagine in that case, I don't think we see much of a goodbye.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, I think...
Well, because it's not like you're going away forever, right? Like
yeah, like, I'm not going away forever, and we're not really emotionally that close. I just think... What is this? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, like... Yeah, so, like, Thistle goes out, like, that evening, like, after the Taskell and goodbye thing. Like she normally does, right? Like, presumably to go drinking. And then, like, the next morning you'll wake up and there's just, like, one last bottle of the, like, Glenfiddich 80 and just, like, a stack of coin on the table. And, like, Thistle's, like, spare jacket or whatever, like, the one sign that she had been staying here for, like, a couple of days is just gone.
Yep.
And she out. Like, I think it's just...
Nice, yeah. It's one of those. That makes sense, yeah.
All right, I'm going to add her to the contact list. Thistle, how do you all want to characterize Thistle?
Oh, boy.
Sweet-talking sword.
Yeah, I like that.
See, I was going to say a gnarly hunter.
Gnarly's a pretty good word.
I know. If Sweet Talking Sword is where we're at, then that's cool.
I'm down for it. I don't mind.
Yeah. I just wanted to throw my hat.
I just think Sweet Talking is a very interesting way to describe her.
Right? Yeah, that was
in quote marks.
Yeah.
That's why.
A sweet talking, quote unquote. Sword.
I'm just like, I'm imagining that scene where you get an orphan to do your dirty work. Very sweet talking there.
Yeah, I was really sweet with that poor young orphan.
Yep. And that time that you nicely talked to that man under the bridge with the...
Yeah. I was perfectly pleasant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not responsible for Needle's actions. Needle is a person.
No role-playing Nuremberg defense.
Needle is their own person, okay? I can't be held responsible for the actions of my Viper Eel.
Nope. Nope.
Anyway. As far as Belle goes, I think like I feel like some time passes.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there is like a quiet week or whatever, like in the next mechanical downtime is maybe like a bit more montagey than usual. But like at some point, like after a little bit of time has passed and like it's now probably been like a week and a half or a fortnight since Belle disappeared. One or both of you have a dream. And in the dream, you're somewhere very dark. Very, very dark and very, very cold. And the ground is like hard and like crunchy underfoot. And like it's like all you can hear is just like your own heartbeat and your own breathing, and then just it's like crunching of like gravel noise. And then like the light comes in, and it's the memory of the ghost ritual of being down in the cove, the bottom of the mine, and everyone like drinking the water from like the void sea. Only Belle is like Belle looks like a drowned person. Like, it is the memory as it was, but Belle is like incredibly like water washed all the color out of them, pale and like waterlogged and like dripping. And like when and as they like speak, they like gurgle up like little like spouts of water, and their hands are like clammy and pallid as they touch yours. And I think instead of what happened in the real version of memory, where they like went and like stooped and like got the water out of the sea, they just like vomit up this like torrent of like void sea water into the bowl. And so I think like you have this very strange dream and like wake up with this strong feeling that like some kind of important shit is going down at the beach.
Yeah. And so we go to the beach. I assume there's like a moment where like Dee and Nightfall look at each other and realize they've had the same dream.
Yeah, and I suspect that Nightfall wakes up kind of like, I feel like weird dreams are fairly standard, so I feel like Nightfall kind of wakes up, is like the usual like, another one of those fucking dreams, and then notices that you've also just woken up.
Yeah, look like pallid, and Dee usually dreams about puppies and delicious eel pies. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, and so sees that you look really distraught, and is like, what's the matter? And yeah, as you kind of describe the dream, I'm like, hold up.
Guess we should go to that creepy cave.
Let's go to the beach, I guess.
The creepy beach.
Yeah, so you head down to, because the beach is in Coleridge
at the bottom of a mine there.
Yeah, and so like we get the thing of like, as you're carrying the lamp down from like your usual lamp that you would have for like walking around the streets, as you're carrying it down into the mine, it's doing that thing where the light just shrinks until it's like by the time you get to the beach, we're like seeing everything in that kind of like black and white silvery like night vision light, where it's like you're mostly seeing silhouettes.
Yeah, and I think like you make it down there and just like and there's nothing, right? Like it's that anticlimax thing of like we go into like the super like horror movie style like tension building. You're like moving and it's this really tiny circle of light, and we're like we can see like the tiniest bit of a wave like lip up like into the firelight and then go away, and then you're like, oh, the water's, and then you like move a bit closer and like a little bit more water, and we're like, oh, and then like a little thing is like half uncovered. Oh no, it's just a rock. And we do the whole like tease and release thing, and then like, yep, no, we come fully into view and no, it's just the beach. It's just like there's nothing here, and we all get them over like, oh, and then Belle just like wades up out of like the water from underneath it. And the water is just like falling away off them. And I think the first, like at very first, when all we can see is the top of their head, everything seems to be like normal and okay and fine. And then like even just like as soon as we can see like their face, their eyebrows, which were like the same like dark color. It was really the only body hair they had, if we're going to be real here. It's like shaved head and like no beard. But yeah, like they're like big bushy like eyebrows are now like stark white and like frosted over. And they come up out of the water and like their eyelids are like frozen shut by like tears that have like they've wept and it's like frozen together and stuck their eyelashes, and we can see like more tears like rolling down their cheeks and like melting it slowly. And yeah, they just like come up out of the water, and there are like something like handprints and something like Lichtenberg figures just like all over like their arms and their chest and their back. Just these like horrific scars. And I don't think they're wearing anything, to be frank. Like, I just think they're like naked. Like, none of their belongings are on their person, except maybe like once they're like fully up out of the water and they like look at you and we see that their eyes are now just like, again, that same just like stark white color with like nothing left in them. And they like look at the two of you, and then the tide rolls up and just like deposits the bell. That like copper bell that we saw, but it's now like completely covered in like vertigo.
Just green. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I think, yeah, there's just like a beat, and then they just like fall forward and just collapse. Unconscious or sleeping. It's unclear.
I think Nightfall just looks at Adi, gestures at Belle, and is like, "Bam, Belle."
Let's just check that this is still Belle. And Adi's like wants to like. There's like a moment when Adi studies / tinkers and like make sure that this is not a ghost, not a thing that is supernatural, and is in fact a human being. And then we take Belle back.
As you like, yeah, take Belle back though, like there's 100%. We see like we see over your shoulders as you're like walking out the place where Belle emerged. There's the blue the blue glowing ghostly figure of a woman with like standing under the water and like looking out. She's, you know, deathly pale. I think like curly hair, and wears like a crown made out of like some kind of weird thorns or something. In my head it's kind of like a shark egg. And yeah, we see like just like head down to like chest level of her like staring out with like malice in her eyes. And like as soon as you leave the shot, she like steps forward and like starts to, and then we cut.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
is there anything
Welcome
else?
home, Belle.
Yeah.
Belle White.
The only other thing that I think is like, okay, we get her back to the lair, and I just am picturing, you know, towel around shoulders and tea, and us kind of gently trying to figure out like where you've been, what you've been doing, kind of seeing if there are tales.
Yeah. Do we want to do that scene today, or do we want to say?
Or do we want to wait till Derek's back? Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't mind. I'm happy for either.
Yeah, I don't mind as as far as from my perspective.
As a producer,
as a producer, as a GM, I don't mind either way. Are y'all like eager to hear these things, or do you?
I'm super curious, and I feel like we have 15, 20 minutes.
Let's hear.
So I think what this looks like is like like Belle regains consciousness. I think it takes a little bit of time. And it's not gentle or slow. But it's also not dramatic. Like there's no big like like moment or anything like that. But like there is a very distinct shift in the energy of the room when Belle goes from being unconscious to conscious again. And like they don't move, but just like suddenly their presence is like back in the space. And I think again it's that thing, because in my mind a lot of Belle's aesthetic is about like playing with like music and soundscapes. And so I think like in like the HBO show version of this is the point at which the bell, like the really, really low like bell tone that has always been in the score, like comes back. and it's only now that like we realize that it hasn't been there the entire time they've been gone.
I'm imagining that while Belle was unconscious, Nightfall was kind of sitting nearby and was so faintly you almost couldn't hear it, humming some vague rendition of one of the many weird tunes that Belle would hum, just to see if it helped, not really knowing what she was doing, but just kind of caring a little.
I don't
so
know
sweet
if
for Nightfall. Wow.
I know. I don't know if Nightfall notices this, but I think as she hums, the bell like sings in harmony in the way that like a singing bowl, like it just makes this like low resonant note. Like, you know how cello strings, like if you play the right string, the strings next to it will vibrate of their own accord. Like it's that thing.
Yeah.
So like all of a sudden Belle is like conscious. And she like lets out this long, like groaning noise. And just like the eyes snap open and they just like stare blindly up at the ceiling and just like flop one arm out in search of tea. Oh boy, moi. What's
He's up. He's up.
What have we told you about the canal? Jesus.
This is not a canal that was problem. You here, you maybe not learn to swim, but back home. And yeah, they like grab the tea and like wrap their hands around it. And I think, we get like a really close shot and we notice that like their fingernails are like all like frosted over as well, or were. And they like close them around, they like again start to like melt and like drip off. Not the fingernails, the ice, to be clear. Specifics are important. How have you been?
Better than you. What the hell happened?
That is how you say, long story. Did I ever tell you a tale of I think they just like for a moment, they're just like lost, like looking for an Akarosi word that like used to be on the tip of their tongue, but for whatever reason, like it's just not coming to mind. Hey, the Baba, grandmother, and she is a wise woman. She talks with ghosts and takes care of the people of her village. She names the babies and cures the sick and speaks with the dead, you know. But she has only one living relative, daughter, and they are estranged for some reason. And winter comes. And one day she is out in forest gathering, and I think they like mumble a couple of words in Skovlish that are presumably the names of like herbs or something. I don't fucking know. It's clear from context. And she comes across banks of a great river, deep, swift flowing, dark, but frozen over because it's winter. And she sees light in the water. And it makes promises. And it speaks in a voice like the voice of her daughter. And it tells her she does not have to be feared and alone and different. And I think they just trail off and they're doing the bell thing again where they're just like looking off into space like at some unseen object.
And that's where you went? Huh.
There are worse things. Lying things in water than ghosts.
It's like,
And I think they look down at the bell.
this is why we don't go swimming in the void sea.
I think they laugh.
Yeah, and Adi's checking Belle over like medically. We'll see how it goes later.
And I think they like take some kind of like object off your like doctor's tray and like drop it in their tea, and it bobs up to the surface and just floats there. And they just point at this like little like whatever the fuck it is, and they're like, on the island is nowhere to be safe from sea. It is good to be home.
I think that's a really good spot to like leave it, right? Like
and I think they huddle in and like snuggle into their blanket and like drink the tea and take the thing out and like go to drink the tea and then remember that the thing is still in there and like take it out and give it back to Adi.
I also think that there's kind of a moment there where you say the thing about being good to be home, and Nightfall kind of has like a home, like kind of a moment, because I think there has been like a lot of like homeless threads in recent history for Nightfall, and I think that that's an interesting
and this is home for Belle as well, right? Like who's come across.
I think working out that like the physical space is home for us, and also that each other has become home for us, is like all a bit of an interesting revelation.
Yep.
No, definitely.
Cool. Well, shall we wrap it up there and do our XP and stuff?
Yeah,
that's good.
Do you want to start with your XP for Thistle first?
Thistle and get that out of the way?
Yeah.
I think good idea. Where did she go? Thistle! Did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
Yes.
Yes.
Multiple times.
Both of those.
Maybe.
I think that happened.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? Yes. I think her like callous attitude towards death, which is one of her like beliefs, I think was definitely in there. And I think her heritage with the nobility was like also
I think
like
we saw that, yeah.
Yeah, like very, very present. I think my traumas did not. I mean, I gained a trauma.
You gained a trauma, but it didn't cause you trouble.
That's true.
You can't. But basically, it's very difficult to like. If you gain a trauma in a session, you need to like play it real fast if you want the XP for it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, if only I'd already had it, I would have got the XP.
Oh yeah.
I think I struggled with issues from my vice because, and we didn't, get time with Thistle to really see this, but if I refresh us, Thistle's vice is faith, and her purveyor is the Lady of Thorns, who is a forgotten god, and the ritual action is acquisition of objects attuned by mystical events, and that is what she was looking for.
Right, in the bridge. Yep, cool, great, excellent. Definitely get an XP for that one.
Oh shit! And I got the book.
And you got the book.
So I'm gonna take another one. So I filled my playbook track.
Nicely done.
Yay! I go out on top.
Cool. How about Alana?
Cool. All right. So did I address a challenge with calculation or conspiracy? I think
That note was conspiracy as fuck.
yeah. So I was gonna
Mhm.
say I think that that was conspiracy. Um,
We didn't see a heap of Nightfall. This
No.
time. We saw a lot. We saw a lot of Thistle.
yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
So
I might just take one for that.
sure, definitely take one for that.
Express beliefs drives heritage or background. I think that I've expressed my background with a lot of the interactions with the homeless.
Yes, I
Today?
think that was, and yeah, I was like, as soon as we were in like a place that was like, you know, under a bridge, I was like, oh, Nightfall buttons.
Yeah, totally. And then I also am thinking that her changing drives and kind of whatever was expressed just toward the end there with Belle as well.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was gonna say it if you didn't.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's the home, the feeling, the
Yeah, that's
thinking about that. That's
Definitely.
And then struggling with issues with vice or traumas. I think that some of the instability came through, but I wouldn't say more than 1 XP.
I think we definitely saw some unstable. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like she was very, it's almost reckless, but just that idea of like not knowing whether she was going to take kind of the sensible option or just like barrel into certain things and not being quite sure how she was going to approach situations, I think came through with like just being happy to climb across the dangerous rope. Like
yeah,
wouldn't
Yeah.
have normally done that straight up. And yeah, just with some of the things with Taliesin and that sort of stuff, just yeah. So we'll go
yeah,
1 for that
get
as well.
one for that, definitely. Yep.
Beautiful.
Cool. All right. V.
I think mine's pretty simple. A D addressed the challenge with technical skill multiple times this session.
Yes.
Addressed
And
the whole
mayhem.
bridge with it, yeah, and mayhem. And I think that I'm gonna just take the 1 for expressing beliefs drives heritage or background, specifically about like that indecisive moment where I think a D has like that connection to like a built thing in
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah, like are we actually going to blow this up? Yeah.
yeah, just purely because it's a beautiful bridge in a place that Adi grew up, like in the city that Adi grew up.
Yeah.
I would like to pitch another to you, which was like it's the negative space thing, right? Where like I expected a D to have a lot more qualms about the fact that people would probably die.
Yeah, that's true.
And she didn't.
Yeah.
And like to me that was really notable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Historically she has been the nice one on the team.
I think that's a part of it is like the not directness of it, and the part that's like the growing effect of the team on Adi as well. Like that,
Yeah.
these people that are around her are Adi's mentors and guidance in life.
Yeah, so I
That's
think
worrying.
I think
Yeah.
get XP.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then is that all of them?
Traumas or vice?
Oh, traumas or vices.
No, I didn't hit those this
Okay.
session.
Belle.
Yay! I didn't address any challenges.
No.
I feel like I expressed my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think I did that up to the tune of 2 XP.
Okay. Yeah, I think because of that last scene where we got to see so much of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, it's interesting to me because I was playing with some things there that like some of which is clear metaphor and some of which is not.
Yeah.
Like nothing in that folk tale was me just randomly putting things in there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, because like just because there's no point in like not saying these things out loud, like the daughter parallel, the bit with the witch feeling bad about her daughter, that was Kellen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But like now Belle has a new thing to feel like they belong to. And I'm gonna mark 2. And I did not struggle with my vice. I finished struggling with my vice. Good job, me. And I didn't really struggle with haunted. Like
that's right.
Yeah, there was a little spattering, but like nothing bad actually.
Yeah,
happened.
nothing bad happened from it.
Yep.
All right. Well, then what about crew stuff?
Crew stuff.
Did we execute a successful smuggling or acquire new clients or contraband sources?
We got that whiskey.
We did. That's a good point. Yep. So Mark.
I noticed halfway through the job, I was like, "Fuck, we're not gonna get any XP for it."
Yep. Mark 1 for that.
Yeah, so 1 for that.
Did we? Did we contend with challenges above your current station? Yes.
Possibly.
Many.
Yeah, I think we get 2 for that.
Yeah, I
think so.
agree.
Because a number of tier 5 factions now matters.
Mm-hmm. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one?
I think we bolstered Savvy.
Yep.
I think we developed.
Yeah.
something.
Either daring or ambitious. I just need to look back at what the actual
Explosive.
list is of options. Where are we?
See, I don't know that it was like,
new reputation.
like daring, or I think what you were actually was savvy and subtle, right?
Okay, were we brutal?
Oh yes,
We
yeah,
did
okay.
a lot of killing.
Yeah, and like
Yeah. So that's
think-
2.
I
One
think that's
for
2.
one for Savvy and
Yeah.
one for
Yep,
Brittle.
so that-
We
so
fucked some
we-
shit up.
we tick
So we
over.
fill the track and we go 1 up.
Mhm.
Did we express the yada yada yada?
Goals,
I-
drives, inner conflict, or eccentric nature of the crew. I definitely think that we saw a lot of that actually.
Yeah, I think like, and again, not to keep harping on this point, but like I think it was telling in a bunch of ways. I think the fact that no one had a problem with killing all those people
Mhm.
speaks to the essential nature of the crew and how that is changing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, the stuff about like home, the stuff about like the
Yeah.
relationship between that we saw, like there was those interactions between between Adi and Nightfall. Like, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think what in a strange way is kind of illuminated by Thistle is the extent to which the crew really is a family.
Yeah.
And that is
Yeah,
its essential
It's
nature.
external. Yeah, like
Yeah,
we
Thistle
really got
isn't
to
part
see
of
that. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
like
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. That's another 2.
right, cool. And so we know what ability we're taking.
Cool.
We should add that. I think that's what it's called. No, I was wrong. This is the autofill is so good, except when you forget the name of the ability. I was nearly there. Forged in the fire,
That makes sense.
not forged by fire.
Not a space in there. Yeah.
Yep, there we go. We get +1d to all resistance rolls.
Fuck yes.
And then also everyone add
Oh yeah, stash.
everyone add 3 to your stash. Which means I think we all fill up our first little
do.
roll. Which is cool.
Heck yes.
So if we retired,
Does Corin fill it in for once he's not there for? I mean,
Yes,
yes, because he's
I
part of
think-
the crew.
I think that is what we ended up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's what we ended up deciding.
Let me
Where's
do that for him.
I want to find the bit about stash. Because it's good, everyone. We're doing really well as criminals.
Woohoo!
Where is this bit? It's in the
When we
faction.
retire, we'll actually have a house.
Yeah,
Corin
this
hasn't
is
filled in
the thing.
Like a hovel. I think it's called a
Right.
hovel.
I think hovel is the word that was used.
Yep, I
So-
do believe.
So do we just fill up the first row? Is that where we're at?
Yeah,
yes,
one
we-
more.
And no. Oh.
And one onto the next row?
Yeah, I have one on the next row.
Okay.
Do you?
Yes.
I'm
Because we've
also
done-
up to what?
We've leveled 4 times.
Yep.
The first 2 we were a tier 0 gang, so they were 2 each.
Yep.
And then the second 2 we were a tier 1 gang, and so there were 3 each, which should
Yep.
come
Should
to a
be
total of 10.
10.
So yeah, right at the end.
3,
But-
4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. So that last one counts as.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, that's a
that
box.
makes
Yeah, that's the we just filled this level one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, nope. So we are still looking at ending up in the gutter of wash and vice and misery.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
We now get to start building towards a tiny hovel that we can pull
Fantastic.
away.
Great.
If it's anything to kind of make you feel better, I lived in a gutter for a while and it was fine. So you'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Also, the quality level of our lifestyle has improved.
Oh,
We now have a quality 1 lifestyle.
and excellent.
Fancy.
Yeah, our clothes are now quality 1.
Grandma is so
exciting.
proud of me.
I mean, like, it
Great
means that you
example
can.
in here.
It means that it makes it easier to like pass yourselves off as like not
Not street
Not trash.
urchins.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a great example in the book about Cantor's coats and how fancy they really are.
Yep. All right. So let's do some shout outs then. We can
Cool.
wrap it up.
We did it,
Starting
everyone.
with Luke.
Hello, I'm Luke. I'm a game designer. You can find games that I have designed in the past tense at gamesfromthewildwood.itch.io. If you would like to see games I am working on in the present and potentially future tense, you can find those at patreon.com/gamesfromthewildwood. Right now, I am working on a super dope game about warrior exiles questing for redemption through the Irish Otherworld. It's going to be very good. If you would like to listen to the podcast that I am the creative director for and host of, you can find us on Twitter at feelingsfirst_. We finally have action going again on editing episodes, so Dogs in the Vineyards should start coming out soon. And my non-capitalist plug of the day is cooking for yourself when you can. It's nice.
Yeah, not having crisps for dinner. Yeah.
I do have some crisps. I'm probably going to have those for dessert.
Okay, that's acceptable. V, shoutouts.
Yeah, I'm V. Come check out me and my partner Haley's works at Story Brewers Roleplaying. We write a bunch of games as well. What's my so following on the theme of last week where I went to the dentist, I also went to the physio this week and I found out I needed this brace.
Yeah,
so
I was wondering.
Keep looking after yourself. I have to have it on for 3 weeks. So
Oh, yay, awesome.
V is just going to work through the list of all of the medical professionals that you
exactly.
week in, week out.
Yep. Well, I hope it's not too much of a hassle.
No, it's not too bad. Not
Alright.
too bad at all.
Okay. And Alana, shoutouts.
Hello, I am Alana. I will continue to do that off stream. You can find me on Twitter at Alana M. Cole. I am the founding and managing director of Queerly Represent Me, which is a charity that is doing queer representation stuff in games, and you can find us at Queerly Rep Me on Twitter. And my non-capitalist plug for tonight is keeping a journal, because it is a thing that I am doing again, and I am enjoying it.
Yeah, I definitely need to get back into that habit because it is really satisfying.
Wow, has everyone here? I've never even tried. Like I've never.
So what I did was for the nearly the whole first 2 years of my transition, I posted a selfie and a journal entry pretty much every day. Like on my public website,
It was actually really lovely. It felt like
it was always really nice.
I felt like super connected to you. It was nice.
What's really interesting is that I found it much harder to do that since I've been on antidepressants. Like it's like messed with my like flow around like those daily tasks. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get back into it.
What I've been doing is I've been keeping like a mood journal and also like keeping track of activities and things on that, because I noticed that my mood was being kind of just sort of weird, and I wanted to kind of get a better feel for what certain activities were doing to my mood and like what the weather was doing and how often I was having
that's
headaches
so important.
and that sort of stuff. And so I found a really cool app. My friend Jess recommended it, who is watching, so hi Jess. And it's kick-ass and has been really useful.
Is it Dalio?
Yeah, that's what I've been using. It's really, really good.
I've been trying to use that as well, but yeah, I just need to get back into the habit of like doing things as like a regular thing before bed.
Having it just give me a reminder once a day, and I'm like, oh cool, yep, and I just like click all the buttons.
Yeah, whereas I like to write like a little bit of prose, like text. But yeah,
brief comedy routine. Alana, how many of the entries just say big mood?
Literally none of them.
Yeah, no, Delio is actually
because I am older than that.
Yeah.
I am an old person who feels that's uncool.
And also, like, it gives you a really nice like interface, which is good for tracking it quick.
Yeah, like it gives you like 5 different icons that you can pick depending on what kind of mood you're in. And hang on, it kind of looks, you've got like, I don't know, give me some light. There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
So you get like little moods that you can choose. And then you get, once you choose one, you get a whole bunch of icons of like different things that you did in a day.
What have you been up to?
Sorry. Yeah.
Have you got one for cupcakes?
I have one for unhealthy or healthy eating.
Oh, right. Okay. That's
So I
really
can keep
clever.
track of whether good food is making me feel better over the long term.
I feel like the
Yeah.
ideal here would be if you could set your 5 moods, because mine would just be spooky, sincere, sad.
You can edit all
that's
moods,
just
you can edit all of the activities.
That's just writing a role-playing game. That's all you're doing. You're just doing it again.
I just write role-playing
You
games with
can't
my
help
feet.
it.
That's
You
fine.
can't help
That's
it.
fine.
All right. Anyway,
Beautiful.
let's yeah. I've been Ash. This is my channel, so if you're not already following, smash that. Otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr, and Patreon at acegiac, ACEGIAK, or on my blog website portfolio thing acegiac.net, where you can also find out about how you can hire me to GM for you if you'd like that. Otherwise, thank you very much to everyone for playing today and for joining us in chat. It's been that was an adventure that we went on, and I am glad that I finally got to. I love every opportunity to play National Treasure, the role playing game.
I can't wait to tell Derek.
I know, I was about to say the same. I can't wait for Derek to get back.
Yep. Other than that, thank you all so much for coming, and we'll catch you later. Bye.